Okay, hello everyone, me Paigeofmaces back with Dear Esther, and look at that moon. We've apparently spent so much time in the caves that it's become night time. Well, I think only just. And just kind of standing there awestruck by it. Just look at it. Isn't it pretty? Oh, so pretty. Oh, then the loudly sad music starts playing. That's where it starts to get really, really eerie. This is the eeriest part of the game coming up right now.
The moon over the Sanford Junction, headlights in your retinas. Donnelly drove a grey hatchback without a bottom. All the creatures of the tarmac rose to sing to him. All manner of symbols crudely scrawled across the cliff face of my unrest. My life reduced to an electrical diagram. All my gulls have taken flight. They will no longer roost on these outcrops. The lure of the moon over the Sanford Junction is too strong.
I'm not sure how picturesque the Sanford Junction is. I think that's what they showed in that random underwater scene thing. But it's a shrine for an empty paint tin and 2 paintbrushes. I played this again after recording all of this and before recording all the post-commentary things, and I completely forgot what was up there. So this has just reminded me. Suddenly out of nowhere, I get a lot of lag. Oh man, this music. It's heartbreaking. Whoever did the music for this game? Seriously good job there, guy. Or girl. Person. Oh yeah, that's definitely reminding me of some of the childhood beaches I've been to with all those little... I forget what they're called, but all of those. I think those are photos. Or they could be ultrasound scans. Yeah, I spot that there's a person up there.
We shall begin to assemble our own version of the North Shore. We will scrawl in dead languages and electrical diagrams and hide them away for future theologians to muse and mumble over. We will send a letter to Esther Donnelly and demand her answer. We will mix the paint with ashes and tarmac and the glow from our infections. We will paint a moon over the Sanford Junction and blue lights falling like stars along the hard shoulder.
Is that a reference to the water? Yeah, I was the first time I saw him, I was like, oh god, no, is that the guy that's narrating to us? Please don't jump. I have no idea what that is. But, well, I had no idea what that was, and I've seen this video, and apparently there's, like, loads of ghosts you can spot in this game. Oh, this is... defibrillator, pills, some other stuff. Oh god, that wind. That wind, it scares me. Why are you scaring me for, wind? It's not very nice, is it? Whenever I record this, my room gets really cold. And it was sunny until a moment ago. Huh. Yeah, the first time I played this, I was trying to rush so I could get to that guy. Yep, can't see him. Let's find that guy. Oh, the music stopped now. Now just the sound of the waves. Another cavey bit. There's another painting over there. That's that chemical symbol again. I think that's a picture of, that is a picture of Esther. What happens to all these things when the tide comes in? And there's that ever-blinking radio tower. For some reason that light is just incredibly eerie. Eerie little lights all over the place. And the contents of the stuff does change, because in the last... What the hell? Yeah, the second time I played this, it was just... There was no tyres there, it was 2 car doors. That radio noise... Oh my god, it just came out of nowhere, didn't it? I have heard that apparently you can see one of the ghosts in the... Oh, I'm still looking for the other guy. Apparently there's a ghost in one of the reflections of the candles on the beaches. Don't think I see that one.
There were chemical diagrams on the mug he gave me coffee in, sticky at the handle where his hands shook. He worked for a pharmaceutical company with an office based on the outskirts of Wolverhampton. He'd been travelling back from a sales conference in Exeter, forming a strategic vision for the peddling of antacid yogurt to the European market. You could trace the connections with your finger, join the dots, and whole new compounds would be summoned into activity.
He really hates Wolverhampton. No, in Wolverhampton. I'm trying to read what that says, but... Again, it's really hard to read that. From heaven shone something. Light from heaven shone something. Oh god, it's this bit. Oh god, the chanting. Ow! My elbow.
From here, I can see my armada. I collected all the letters I'd ever meant to send to you, if I'd have ever made it to the mainland, but had instead collected at the bottom of my rucksack, and I spread them out along the lost beach. Then I took each and every one, and I folded them into boats. I folded you into the creases, and then, as the sun was setting, I set the fleet to sail. Shattered into 21 pieces, I consigned you to the Atlantic, and I sat here until I'd watched all of you sink.
Well, some of them are still on the beach, but that is quite... The first time I watched this, and I said that this was possibly the saddest image of the game. It's not wrong. Or maybe it's poignant. Very poignant sort of image there. All the stuff slowly sinking away. Oh, and I get caught on the railing. A sudden light from heaven, and something fell to the ground. Past me, turn back, so I can read what it says on there. Nope. Dead end. Get a better look at the armada I think I was trying to do here. And the sinking moon. Or is it rising? It's hard to tell. Quite bright for night time here. Radio tower back in shot again. Up the stairs. At this point I'm still not entirely sure what way we were supposed to head. It's impressive that a guy with a broken leg can walk this far and survive falling into caves and things. Do you have to wonder who built all the walls and why they're not there anymore? At this point, this is where I really start to feel like there's things just watching me. Well, there isn't. It does feel like I am being watched by things on the hilltops. Probably just being paranoid, but it does feel like it. If you play the game yourself, you'll probably see what I mean.
When Paul keeled over dead on the road to Damascus, they resuscitated him by hitting him in the chest with stones gathered by the roadside. He was lifeless for 21 minutes, certainly long enough for the oxygen levels in his brain to have decreased and caused hallucinations and delusions of transcendence. I'm running out of painkillers, and the moon has become almost unbearably bright.
Oh, that explains why I can see so well. Probably. Oh yeah, there's that guy again. There's the guy. I see him. Yeah, when I was playing this the first time, I was like, no, please, guy, don't jump, don't jump. Just vainly trying to get to him because I thought that was the narrator standing there. Trying in vain to get to him. All that music. Ooh, getting tingles again. Could just be because it's cold and I don't have a jumper on, and I really should put one on.
I've begun my voyage in a paper boat without a bottom. I will fly to the moon in it. I've been folded along a crease in time, a weakness in the sheet of life. Now you've settled on the opposite side of the paper to me. I can see your traces in the ink that soaks through the fibre, the pulped vegetation. When we become waterlogged and the cage disintegrates, we will intermingle. When this paper aeroplane leaves the cliff edge and carves parallel vapor trails in the dark, we will come together.
Not really sure what to say in reply to that. And then he's gone. It's really, really freaking windy. Yeah, for a couple of minutes I was like, where is he? Where'd he go? Did he? But you can't see anything. Except the lights twinkling on the beach. And if he was proceeding along, well, you can't read it on the something on his journey. Oh yes, and he was proceeding on his journey. How on earth did you manage to get up there to paint that on there? Oh, Damascus. So many mentions of Damascus. Near to... I couldn't read that. Comes. I think I focus too much on reading the scribbles on the walls, because I don't think they actually mean anything, to be honest. They're just there for flavour. It's like, what, is this a clue? Will I need these later on? No. Something to drink.
If only Donnelly had experienced this, he would have realized he was his own shoreline, as am I. Just as I am becoming this island, so he became his syphilis, retreating into the burning synapses, the stones, the infection.
Syphilis is a horrible disease. An incredibly horrible disease. Becoming his own shoreline. Still trying to work out what that means. I don't know. I'm only a bear of very little brain after all. Yes, travel up the steps. 2.
The stones in my stomach will weigh me down and ensure my descent is true and straight. I will break through the fog of these godforsaken pills and achieve clarity. All my functions are clogged, all my veins are choked. If my leg doesn't rot off before I reach the summit, it will be a miracle. There are 21 connections in the circuit diagram of the anti-lock brakes. There are 21 species of gull inhabiting these islands. It is 21 miles between the Sanford Junction and the turn-off for home. All these things cannot, will not be a coincidence.
Did you take 21 pills as well? Yeah, I know what he means about being fogged by pills. But being fogged by pain is even worse. Especially the pain of a concussion, it's not very nice. And I guess that's what all those electrical diagrams are of anti-lock brake systems. Now I feel dumb for not getting it. Stuff to think about. He made my journey, and oh, I fall off the cliff here.
Come back.
I didn't even realise you could fall off cliffs at that point. After this is where I gave up on even trying to read. I did not want to fall off again. Noon. Yeah, I gave up trying to read those things after falling off. I think you can read all of it. My voice is suddenly going croaky. I should have had some water with me when I did this. Water, please. Mizu? Mizu, onegai shimasu?
Blind with panic, deaf with the roar of the caged traffic, heart stopped on the road to Damascus, Paul sat at the roadside hunched up like a gull, like a bloody gull. as useless and as doomed as a syphilitic cartographer, a dying goatherd, an infected leg, a kidney stone, blocking the traffic bound for Sanford and Exeter. He was not drunk, Esther. He was not drunk at all. All his roads and his tunnels and his paths led inevitably to this moment of impact. This is not a recorded natural condition. He should not be sat there with his chemicals and his circuit diagrams. He should not be sat there at all.
I have no idea how the hell to respond to that rant. Apart from the fact, if there was a kidney stone blocking the Sanford junction, I do not want to meet the thing that dropped it. In fact, if there's something that big that could drop a road-blocking kidney stone, I don't think England would sink. We'd sink into the sea. I'm not even really sure where the hell Sanford is, actually. I should look it up on a map. Came. Well, the wave noise is really loud in my ears, and I have turned the video sounds down, so it didn't pick up on it in Audacity. I don't think it does. Damascus. We don't have a clue how microphone headset mics work. Ugh, that rattling noise. Somehow I managed to miss the ghost that stands up there, which I'm very thankful, because apparently that one is really freaky looking. I'm going to have to go back and play this bit now, just so
I have run out of places to climb. I will abandon this body and take to the air. That's
still heart-wrenching to hear, even after watching it back.
Dear Esther, I have burnt my belongings, my books, this death certificate. Mine will be written all across this island. Who was Jacobson? Who remembers him? Donnelly has written of him, but who was Donnelly? Who remembers him? I have painted, carved, hewn, scored into this space all that I could draw from him. There will be another to these shores to remember me. I will rise from the ocean like an island without bottom, come together like a stone, become an aerial, a beacon, that they will not forget you. We have always been drawn here. One day the gulls will return and nest in our bones of our history. I will look to my left and see Esther Donnelly flying beside me. I will look to my right and see Paul Jacobson flying beside me. They will leave white lines carved into the air to reach the mainland, where help will be sent.
It's really sad. And it's impressive how he's managed to climb up here with a busted leg. Oh god. The island does look beautiful. Oh god. I guess I can talk again, but I kind of don't want to ruin the atmosphere. This little last flyby over the island. I'm in no more control of this now. I stopped the second I walked towards the radio
Come back.
tower. Coming up here is the last little look of the tiny armada. Our last look at that beautiful, beautiful moon. Here's the last look. Last little look at the island. Last look at the moon. As we go out into the Atlantic. Such a sad ending to a very beautiful game. I hope you guys found it interesting to watch. Oh, I'm Paigeofmaces. TTFN.